Senior citizen.
Even before I say what it is, you have already jumped. Prof, SM has already said it. So we'll take it like that.
Okay.
Yes.
How is everybody?
We are all fine. We are all fine. And we hope you are too.
By His grace.
Great. And it's nice to have you on the line this morning. A bit of a background because the people who are talking about the history of all this naming, renaming, and all that. How Kotoka's name found its way onto our airport. That the very first thing you see when you walk into Ghana is Kotoka. How did that happen?
Oh, well, that's, I like the angle from which or at which you raise the issue for discussion. And maybe a quick overall answer is that this whole issue of naming doesn't follow any consistent, you can say, principles, if I can call it that way. And you look back and the whole scenario is inconsistent. And perhaps when the bill gets to the committee that will consider it, if only the committee will engage or use this particular issue to start a new way without any controversy for the future in naming edifice or areas within the country so that we can unite our country. It used to be Accra International Airport. As I heard you this morning, it was a military base for the World War, and then later on rehabilitated by Nkrumah, and it was named Accra Airport. And that is how it's been. And you recall Kotoka was murdered in April, the abortive coup of Atta and others in 1967. And the National Liberation Council government then named the place after him. And where his statue is standing at the airport was where his dead body was found, or you can say the place where he was murdered. That's all that you can say about it. And the name had persisted, and the rationale behind changing it, there had been a group that had agitated, change the name, because it just brings in memory of event almost 59 years ago. And others say change it and name it after Nkrumah. But to put it straight, it wasn't Nkrumah International Airport, it was Accra International Airport. The Gadangme Council had also been agitating on the basis that you've named an airport in Kumasi, which is a national edifice, after Prempeh the First. So the issue is, and then I think the one in Tamale, I don't know whether it still maintains the name Yakubu Tali International Airport. Yakubu Tali, was a UP political great. And the Dagbon Youth Council, if that's the name, had agitated that why not, if you want to honor it, honor a noble figure of Dagbon, then why not Nagbewa, the founding or the first overlord, who is the father of all the rulers of Dagbon Kingdom. Why not name it after that figure? So you don't have that consistent naming guideline. Interestingly, it was General Champon who overthrew a UP-led government, the Progress Party, that tried something and named the Ari roundabout after Dankwa. And then, of course, Obetse Bilamte. But the NLC renamed Kwame Nkrumah Circle to Liberation Circle. And Achampon renamed it Kwame Nkrumah Circle, as it was in the First Republic. And during our 40th anniversary in 97, many people raised issues about our historical past. And then Akwaje, who was instrumental in suggesting Nkrumah's name to become the General Secretary of the UGCC, they named the interchange after 37 or after Flagstaff House after Akwaje. A notable figure like Park Grant, who later Kwaji of blessed memory told me personally, was a financier, or you can say the father of the Big Six. All the Big Six, Kwame Nkrumah, etc. It was Park Grant who virtually cared for them like his children. He paid for their passage to secondary for UGCC meetings, bought them clothing, shoes. He gave them pocket money, all with the agitation towards our independence struggle. Can you name any edifice? Can you name or indicate any edifice after background other than the name given to UMAT? And I think that has also been reversed. So it's a very chaotic, inconsistent practice that we need to get our hands on. You know, the traditional council or rather Dangme Council, as I indicated, is also agitating a different dimension. And I heard that you go to the president say that when it gets to the discussion stage by a committee or by parliament, they will send a memo. So that's, for me, the unfortunate aspect. The 3rd Infantry Brigade at Sunyani was named Liberation Barracks. Kamina Barracks, I believe, was named Bawa. You know, General Bawa, who was murdered in cold blood during the coup of '66. They've named it General Bawa Barracks. And so, when you look back, you don't see any consistent trend in the way we name places after our past heroes. And for me, this exercise should be taken on that pedestal. I heard that Pinyomakin, and I think his submission was dangerous, right, and disingenuous, mentioning names of persons from Volta region and positioning the whole thing on the ethnic or tribal this thing. If even that is the case, then it should be one of the key factors in naming the edifice. But we don't know whether that is going to be or that is the practice. Because if that is the case, then why maintain Prempeh first? That's the question you will ask. And so why not name Accra, Kentucky? But when it comes to Accra, some people will say for national cohesion. But when it comes to Kumasi, it's not for national cohesion. And if you want to name edifices after prominent people across the country for national unity, aren't there noble people from Volta region? Philip Beho, was he not the one who composed our national anthem? He was a music teacher or master at Achimota, the father of Ambassador Beho. He composed the national anthem. Is there anything that honors his memory or his contribution? Just like among Kote, who designed our coat of arms, or Theodore Shioko for our national flag. I think they named the hockey pitch in Accra after her, sorry. So this, for me, is very, very important. You know, Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology was built by Kwame Nkrumah. Now, that was the original name, and it was restored. You heard of the interesting story told by late, who was from Gonga Afo, and he was the first majority leader. He said he was the SRC president in 1966 in Kenya, and they rushed and removed the Kwame Nkrumah University logo, and they changed the name to University of Science and Technology. I think Owusu Frimpong also, pardon me if I got his name wrong, and he was in parliament as a majority leader when the first Rawlings administration decided to rename KNUST to UST to KNUST, and he had to table the motion for the change of name, and he just laughed at the function. I was present, and he said, "Look at the fate of history." Anyway, so Senna, I think I will not position my submission this morning as an Nkrumahist, because the name wasn't Kwame Nkrumah International Airport. It was Accra International Airport. And I had also held the position that the coup of '66 is a landmark event. You see, and whether we like it or not, it's a landmark event. But in naming edifice after our past heroes or whatever you call them, or past citizens, do we include the dark past? To some people, the coup of 86 was a liberation for them because they used the protective PDA as a major factor or a major cause. But what led to the passing of the PDA, the atrocities, and all the things that happened, people never consider them. But that's part of history, and we need to put it in commentary. But for me, this is a great opportunity. You know, President Mahama maintained Jubilee House. Uh, when the name was of Flagstaff House, when they constructed the presidential palace or presidential office, they named it after our 40th anniversary. No, sorry, 50th anniversary in 2007. And when President Mills came on, they changed it to Flagstaff House. And then Akufo-Addo changed it back to Jubilee House. And he said the residents will maintain the name Flagstaff House. But that was incorrect. The entire presidential office was what Nkrumah named Flagstaff House. But fortunately or unfortunately, the Jubilee House has been maintained. So it puts to rest any future government coming to change it again to Jubilee House if it were to be changed to, or if it were changed to Flagstaff House. And so, Senna, the commentary should continue. When it gets to the stage, I think we need to set the agenda with so that it can stand the test of time for us to be fair to everybody and ensure national cohesion. There are many past heroes who have not been recognized. And that is why when you chose and picked by naming airport after Tolona, CK, Tedam, Dombo, etc., then it's like you are not also helping in addressing the matter. So in the reset agenda issue that President Mahama put forward and he's pursuing gradually, let us make sure we now adopt a guiding principle that will stand the test of time. For me, that is what is very, very important.
See, would that not be difficult? Because you were just talking about the naming of places after people who were largely connected to the history of the UP. That the possibility.
But that is why I'm saying if you do that, then we'll go through this cycle because the nature of our politics that or the system of governance we've adopted, no party will definitely stay in power for a long time. One day, another party will also come, or there will be a change in government. But it is when, so with the Flagstaff House or Jubilee House example I've given, it now puts the matter to rest. Whether it's whether it's MPP or NDC, that has been put to rest. The rest, can we do anything that Parliament does in terms of passing a law? The law can be repealed when another party or another government comes. But there are certain things where we agree as a nation that this is the way we honor our past heroes or past personalities or personalities in general. I believe we, the citizens, we as people who have the authority, because power resides in we, the people, it will be difficult for any government to play around it. So if it is done in a non-partisan manner, then we are confident it can stand a test of time. Using the Flagstaff House as a typical example.
How do we achieve this? Because I was just coming to make the point that perhaps the unpredictable quantity or factor in all this is the UP tradition. That there's always the probability that they always go back to their history when it comes to renaming. They can agree with you today, change their mind tomorrow.
That is why I keep saying, I have always said intellectuals have not helped this country. And whether they are dominant in the UP or the other traditions, then it's unfortunate. But certainly, you are right. And when I hear commentaries from notable figures who know our history, and you see, I always put it as blatant, disgraceful, and shameful distortion of historical facts. You see, 1960 Constitution that took us into a Republican status. The election was contested by Dankwa and then Kwame Nkrumah. And Kwame Nkrumah won a fair election. But then from there, the bomb throwing, etc. which government will sit down for instability to be part of? When there's no stability, the country cannot develop. Look, Nkrumah was overthrown under the pretense of Nkrumah. What was the only fault or what the reason that they cite? PDA, detention without trial, etc. We still have the protective custody decree in our statute books. The NLC that used the PDA, they brought the protective custody decree. Because who will sit down today, if we get anarchists throwing bombs here and there, maiming innocent people, you think you will not detain them? Although you say there must be rule of law, but if there's chaotic situation, you take somebody who has maimed people, throwing bombs here and there, God forbid, to be granted bail and go through a long trial with some. No, there will be emergency measures that will be taken to address the anarchy. But that was what people used against Nkrumah. And the declaration of one party state was, if it was unfortunate, it was by an act of parliament. But at any rate, that was 1964. And Nkrumah was overthrown 2 years later. It was 1993 until Buanye died. Was it not a one-party state? Zambia, until 1990 when late President Kaunda lost election, was it not a one-party state? So why was Kaunda not overthrown? Nkrumah was overthrown for reasons beyond that, and the overthrow was aided by our own citizens. You see, if you look back, you say Nkrumah was an unfortunate figure because the learned people like Dankwa Buzia and others, the role they played in holding us back, and it's up to now when you hear arguments. Nkrumah was not the founder, etc. As if Nkrumah was brought in like a meal that has already been prepared and he was brought in to serve, and then you say he was the one who prepared the meal. No! The history books are there from 1949 when the CPP has an engine for to accelerate the independence struggle was formed until victory in 1951 or through 1957. It wasn't a small fight. Imagine this country traveling. There was a story that late Kojobo Gio told me that there was a rally at Arena, and Nkrumah had his car. When he got to Kingsway, if you know where Kingsway is, the car ran out of petrol. And people said, no, turn off the engine. They told the driver, and they pushed the car from all the way to his residence near Oxford in Malanta. You understand? It was a small struggle. Nkrumah was wearing what you call trousers with a tie as his belt, traveling in this present day Ghana. Look at how the tedious travel is. And you look at back in the 50s, all across the country, no area was spared for organization. And so you hear people who lived through, who knew everything, distorting facts to the extent that you even change records in our history books to deceive young people. You see, which American doesn't know the history of founding of America, American War of Independence? Who doesn't know Benjamin Franklin? The fatherly role he played. Who doesn't know the role played by Thomas Jefferson and George Washington, etc.? They know. Nobody distorts anything. And so that's the most unfortunate thing. And that's why I'm saying that it may not be easy when you still have elements with this sort of mindset. But we, the power resides in us. And you look back to the 2024 election results, it is a significant landmark event that anybody who jokes with it, that's so at his or her own peril. If people don't know why the change came, and also the present government, the responsibility on them to deliver and not to take for granted the mandate given them by the people, then politicians or the political class may be living in the fool's paradise. So, Senna, it's not easy, but it will come one day. We predicted this political turnaround 2020, 2022, etc. We knew your studio or your station had interviewed and interacted with many people. So to some of us, the defeat of the NPP at the 2024 presidential and parliamentary elections, the defeat wasn't a surprise to us. It was like just waking up and making sure, staying asleep, or you wake up and at 6 a.m. the sun will emerge. And so it will not be easy, but one day it will happen. It's a gradual process.
Prof, always a pleasure talking to you. Thank you
It's
very
a
much.
pleasure. Okay.
Thank you. He says this will be used as an opportunity to set, should I say, put together a philosophy or principle that will govern how we name things in Ghana. That it looks like we just wake up in the morning, SM International. But in the meantime, don't forget, if you're struggling with vision problems or headaches, Third Eye Care and Vision Center offers comprehensive eye solutions from new glasses to advanced diagnostics. Our skill optometry and modern technology ensure top-notch care for you, no matter how old you are. In addition to their extensive eyewear offerings, Third Eye Care also specializes in advanced diagnostic tests such as eye pressure checking, fundus photography, and OCT and VFT scanning. As the DVLA accredited eye examination center, do trust Third Eye Care for accurate and reliable assessments. You can find them at North Reach. They are on the same premises with Tani FM, Airport Residential Area. They're opposite the Mirage Residence near Association International School. And also don't forget, you can find the Fredericks branch at the Swazin Shopping Arcade, Accra Central. Today is Wednesday, Mondays to Fridays, open from 8 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. So they are already opened. Call now, schedule that appointment. Get those eyes looked at. Call the North Reach branch on 0245 938389. Also call the Airport Residential Area branch on 0543 287008. Third Eye Care, your vision, our priority. And also don't forget Hisense, renowned for providing a wide range of electronic appliances. What do you need? You want refrigerators, chest freezers, or air conditioners, or you want sound system, water dispensers, microwaves, blenders, rice cookers, kettles, ions, air fryers, or more. As one of the top electronic companies in Ghana, Hisense is committed to the quality of its products. That's why they proudly offer up to a 5-year manufacturer defect warranty on their items. With Hisense showrooms conveniently located across Ghana, you can visit any of their branches in Accra, Achimota, Abraham, Bachona, Dansoman, East Legon, Kaswa, La Paz, West Hills Mall, Tama, Kumasi, Takrady, Takwa, Mankesim, Obuasi, Sunyani, Techiman, Kaneshi, Tamale, Hohwe, and Koforidua. At any of these places, you can purchase any Hisense product at the best price available on the market. Hisense best for quality, best for durability, best for energy efficiency, best for affordability, best for sound, and best for technology. Over the inquiries, call Hisense on 0302 550000 or visit our website, hisense.com.gh. Also, don't forget to follow Hisense on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Hisense has everyday prices for the everyday person. Like I said, our guest in studio this morning, Alhaji Inusa Fuseni. When he joins us, we'll have a conversation. Interesting discussion. This matter of listening to people even suggests that it is as if it is the only thing that is on the mind of the government that they are doing. First of all, that's far-fetched. And Nancy, whilst I insist that you should take Afenyo Makin's position,
you cannot. No,
my position.
I am not
listen to
one
me.
that
Listen.
you can insist that
Listen
I take
to
a certain position
yes.
that I disagree with, and I will because you insist that I do. You know that will not happen.
No, I do agree with Prof that his position amounts to incitement.
Yeah, that's all.
And it's dangerous.
That's what he was doing.
Yes, it's reckless, to say the least. That was a reckless position, to be very frank.
The thing is, the suggestion is not coming because the name there is a name of a Voltairean. That
No,
is
no,
one.
not at all.
Do you get it?
Not at
So
all.
when you told that line, then you are being ignorant. And if you continue to, look at this, national issues with partisan eyes, that's how you sound. Very ignorant.
Okay.
Because we are not saying that, or the suggestion is not, let's change it because it's a name of an Ebe or somebody who is a Voltairean. That is not it. So when you now come and say that a Blackwa, Dapiamekwa, and the rest, you rise up because they are changing the name of a Voltairean into something else, then you are just calling for people to, use words on you. And I think it's not the best. And that position, I cannot side with that position.
You can support
no,
position.
No, never. This is just, try to incite Voltaireans for nothing.
Yeah.
For nothing at all.
The
For
suggestion.
nothing.
The very suggestion that he's did he say a voter hero?
Icon.
Is he hero?
I don't even
No,
know. I don't even know
Kotoka hero.
the name.
No, but I'm even surprised. Like he put up some fight for the voter region that we are supposed to be grateful for. Exactly what did he do?
This kind of tribal in
What kind of
emotional
argument is that?
blackmail. I don't know.
You expect better of a leader in parliament.
And you see,
you expect better of a leader.
You
That's very
have
fine.
taken a position. So
Say
in
that
the
you
head
are
of it,
against it.
when you all come together and your caucus now decide that, oh, let's go with this, how would you look?
Yeah.
Because when you listen to Honorable Peter Abuama, it tells you that is not the decision of the entire caucus. So if you as the leader, this is the position you are taking and you're making it forcefully, it means that is your decision.
Yeah.
Okay. But your caucus may...
I clearly disagree with you.
Exactly, because you've heard Kojo Oponkoma.
Yeah.
You've heard Honorable Buama.
Yeah. He even says that he hasn't even seen the bill, so he can't take a position.
So do you get?
You make
all
life
these
difficult for
people.
people. Anyway, let's speak to Mr. Benunu Mensah, who is Development Chief, GA Traditional Areas.
Absolutely.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, me hanyo manye